afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, so today I am going to be going through the books that I picked up last week. Right, so I've done a bit of research and I've worked out which ones are done in the American terminology and which ones are done in English. And it happens I've got 3 of each, which is absolutely brilliant. It means that I can start working through the American ones because that's the terminology that I use, because that's how I learn. And I will think about what I'm saying next. Right, so as I said, the first set of 3 are American terminology. Now, I've done a little bit of research. You can still get some of them in the UK, and I assume because of that you'll be able to get them in America as well. And it is the same with the English ones as well. You can still get pretty much all of them. So I'm going to have to be really careful with what I show you. It will just be a case of a couple of images from each book. There won't be any pattern reveals on here because I can get done for that, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Help! Right, so I'm going to set up my other camera and I'll see you in a moment. Right, so here are our first 3 books. These ones were all published and released in the UK, so they have the UK terminology attached to them. Our first one is Simply Stylish Crochet by Melody Griffiths. Right, it states on the front, it's a fabulous collection of 24 fashionable and fun designs. Now, this one was printed in 2006, and some of the designs that are in there are very timeless, and I love this one. I'll show you this one in a moment, just the image. And it's got some really gorgeous choices in there. Then the second book I'm going to show you is The Knitting and Crochet, which is by Meriel. Now this one is from 1981. This is a first edition print actually, so I was quite chuffed when I realised that. You can still get this on a website I came across called Biblico. That's biblio.co.uk. Now you can get it in the UK on that site for £4.50, and then you can get it shipped in from a newsstand in Victoria in Australia for £8 something, shipped to the UK. So you'll probably find that's also listed in Australia a lot cheaper. So if you wanted a copy of this from Australia and you live in Australia, have a search, because there is at least one on the World Wide Web. Sorry, that just made me giggle when I came across that. And then our last one is the Cute and Easy Crocheted Baby Clothes, which has got the 35 projects for 0 to 3-year-olds, and that's by Nicki Trench. Right, so Nicki Trench does actually have a website and a little blog, but her last post on her blog was for 2018, in April 2018. Now she still has a load of books that's still available at Waterstones, WH Smith's, big bookshops in the UK. I'm not too sure about other countries, but I've got a feeling you can probably easily order these online still. Now I couldn't find this exact copy and I couldn't find this name on the websites, but I can still find it on eBay. Right, so let's get looking at this first one. I'll just move those over. Right, so as I said, this is Simply Stylish by Melody Griffiths. Oh, there's a bonus. That was something else. Right, now she's got one pattern in here that I've been hunting for ages, and I'm so chuffed I found it. The only problem is it's written in English, so I'm going to have to translate it over to American. Otherwise it will go really skewy. I'll just set up the page and I'll show you which one. Here it is. Isn't that gorgeous? That's made in a ginormous circle, and then I leave holes, bigger holes for my arms. That's the back, and then That's the front. So I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And of course, you know what I'm like for wearing vest tops and jeans and things, so that'll work. I think that'll look really nice on me. So that's my next me project, which will probably end up on the mannequin when I get bored with the one that's on there at the moment. Now the book's really self-explanatory. It goes into a decent amount of detail. You've got the written pattern and you've got charts. So if you work in either or, you'll be able to make up whatever pattern you like out of this book. Now here's a content sheet. I think I can get away with this one. So she's got a denim duffel coat. That's really cute. In a really cool little hat, motifs. She also talks her way through different yarn types, the different stitch symbols, your abbreviations. Shows you how to do some basic stitches that she'll use sort of further on in the projects. That's the jacket I want to do. That's going to be for me. I'll probably end up making it. It'll be too big and I'll offload it to my mum. And that's a really cute top there. I'm wondering, I'll have to find out what that yarn is. Now she does actually, they do state what yarn they make, what yarn they use for each project on this page as well, which is really good, because then it gives you the full write-up, so you can, if that yarn's not made anymore, you can hopefully find an equivalent. So those, got that cute one there, really funky hat, of course the jacket, it's the pattern for the scarf, not the jumper, which is a bit of a shame. I quite like the look of that jumper. And we've got a cool retro waist jacket. Yeah, so again, there's some beautiful simple designs here, and some that look really, that's nice, it's all fluffy. Yeah, so there's some beautiful designs, some very classic designs as well in this one. So, oh, and my favourite. And one for the kit and one for the girls if you're going out for the night and you need something quick and simple. That looks like you could mock it up quite quick. Or if you're going out for a posh do. Could have done with some of them when I used to go to the mess do's with my husband. Right, so yeah, that is that one. From what I've read through it briefly, and it looks really, really good. So as I said, I'll be coming back to that one at some point. Right, so with this knitting and crocheting, it is split into two sections. The first half is a massive chunk on how to knit. Now, when I first opened the page, you've got some Irish lace work there. Absolutely stunning, isn't it? And then we've got knitting, and it breaks down the abbreviations for the knitting and your needle sizes. Now you've got to remember, this is a nice old book, so the sizings may be slightly out. Now I thought that was really pretty, and I thought maybe I could do something with that, until I realised it's knitting. I don't know knitting, I have no understanding of knitting at all. So even though I'm looking at this now, this is looking mega foreign. Look, we've got 2 sticks. That's not right, it's a crochet hook. But as I said, yeah, it's got a nice chunk of information there if you're a knitter, or if you're a crocheter as well. So this is still on the knitting section, so I'll just scoot through there. Very strange way there of making corners. And they've got some really cool funky designs. To be honest, I've seen, I would quite happily make something like that, but maybe add a few more ribs in either side. But again, I believe this one is knitted. Now of course, because this was sort of when crochet wasn't really big, was it, back when this one was published? So of course you've just got the standard doily type designs and a couple of granny square designs. And then of course they have actually got the how-to for the knitting for certain items. And we're still on the knitting. Still on knitting. Ha! Crochet! So they've given us our breakdown of symbols. It talks about the sizes. Shows you your basics. Even shows you a few different stitches. So I think I might be using this one for a hat, although we pretty much all know this one anyway. And then chart work, which I'd already started doing without even realising that it was a technique. But it's got some really pretty little designs in here, and it talks you through them. They've even got the Tunisian, talking about Tunisian, which is really strange because I thought that was quite a new thing. See, shows how much I don't know about crochet, which is understandable really, considering I'm only been going 2 and a bit years. But yep, so there we've got all the extra informations there. So there you go. I've got to show you that one. Let's pop that away. So the last one is the Cute and Easy Crocheted Baby Clothes. Now I'm going to be flicking through this one as I did with the first one because it is still in publication. So I'm going to try not to show you anything major. You've got some multicoloured teddy there, and we've got the older blankets, different method things you can use for blankets, a coat hanger decorated thing. Well, that reminds me of like the 80s when you used to get them silky puffy things and a pair of slippers off your gran for Christmas. I had a collection of about 30 of them coat hangers. Poor gran never knew what to buy me. Alright, so we've got some, I like the cute stuff there. It's a pretty little dress there. There we go. So that's cute, isn't it? Right, let's check the next thing. You've got a little cape. That's a bigger picture actually. Little jumper. Oh. Kiddie's one of them. Oh, poncho, there we go. Read the page, Ange, read the page. Another poncho. There. That's cute. That is so cute. Little chunky jumper. Oops, sorry. Banging things about. And then a little blanket there. Pair of booties. That's pretty. And now I've seen that all over YouTube. So I know that pattern's available. I'll see if I can find it again, get you a link. And we've got the good old gloves. And a buggy blanket. There, there's a stripy one. We've got some funky hats. Little baby bonnet. Some more little booties. Have you seen those? Yeah, so this one's not too bad. It's got a very funky jacket there. God, if I'd have given that to my kids, they'd have eaten it. Well, at least the bits that are hanging off anyway. So there's some really pretty little designs in here. Yeah, and the patterns themselves are really easy and really easy to read as well. And look what was secretly tucked inside one of the books. It's the patons First Steps Crochet, and it's number 167. It was only 20p. Now last time I saw a magazine that was in its 20p's, it was in the 80s, if that. Now, I did have a scoot through to find out what year it was. Just give me a second. And I found it on the back of the page. Now, it says here, as from the 1st of July 1969, European crochet hook manufacturers will be changing over to a new international standard range. Now, for a magazine to write that in must mean that this magazine, it was before 1969, which means it's definitely older than me, and it could be older than me mum, or at least my gran could have read it. For all I know, this could have been hers at one point. Now, I was looking through and I guessed it's a 1960s, and just you can sort of tell by the clothing that the models are wearing. So let's just scoot through. There we go. It's got some stitching and drawstring bags. Now, there was a couple of really cute bits actually in here, and some, I love that. I've got a thing about oldie woldy hats at the moment. I really have. Crochet tie. I threatened to make my husband one. He told me he would burn it. My husband loves me. He says he loves me, but he's starting to get a bit annoyed with the crochet because I keep threatening to make him jumpers and underpants. And that's pretty. But it's definitely, you can see by the styles, this is definitely a 1960s magazine. You just have to imagine the colour. I think that's got like rainbows in it. Look at that. Little popcorn stitch by the looks of it dress. Some cute little jumpers. Even some graphs for teddy bears. Yeah, so it's really mad looking back at the differences of how the patterns that they were putting out then to what we're doing now, and then looking at them and going, well, actually we still use a variation of this one, that one and the other. It's really mad. I shouldn't say mad because it's not mad angry, it's mad crazy. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so that was my freebie. Right, so here is the American set. Now this is Annie's Crochet with Wraps for All Seasons. This was released in 2016. Now again, this has got some stunning patterns on it. I can show you a corner, I suppose. There we go. So I've got some sweet stuff. And then of course you've got information on how to do. We've got a bright pink one there. And then you've got a long one there as well. So I don't know if this is still in publication, but if you're interested, let me see if I can focus in. There is your barcode information. Now in the US it was $8.99 and in Canada it was $10.99. It's printed in USA by anniescrafts.com. I've got a feeling she's probably still got a website there where this may be available for you. Right, our next one up is the Crochet Sweater book with over 30 original designer patterns by Sylvia Cosh. Now it turns out Sylvia Cosh is also English, but she, like me, she likes to confuse everybody because her book is was published by the Crown Publishers Inc. in New York, and the terms that are used are American. There's our cheeky girl there. Right, so let's have a quick flick through. Right, so this book was first published in 1987. I haven't actually done a web search of any sort yet to find out whether it is still available to you. But as you can see, there is some super cool, chunky knits. You can definitely tell these are 80s patterns, can't you? Now, does that not remind you sorry to say it, darling, but that reminds me of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. We just need to change it to spots. But, oh, that is cute in a weird way. Right. Okay, so then we've got, of course, you've got your instructions on how to do. He's got some cute little artwork there. She's even got some men's tops. Some cute patterns here. Oops, let's get off this quick. Sort of how-tos. There we go. So although that's sort of 1980s, the kids are wearing stuff like this now. So my daughter's got a similar top. Okay, it's not crocheted, but she's got a similar top that looks just pretty much like that. So I might be able to get away with making her one of them and not telling her. And then when she wears it, I'll be like, that's retro. So there we go. Little lad's top there. Now that looks very much like the same stitch as that little lad was wearing, just in a different yarn. I'll have to read into it more before we like this and tell you more. Oh, and there's the jumper that I think looks like the one out of the Salt and Pepper videos. So of course, because some of this yarn that they've used won't be in circulation anymore, I haven't, as I said, I haven't read through this whole book yet, so I'm hoping that this book is like the other one where it actually tells you, the yarn. Yeah, so it's here, it's just telling you it's a sport, like your materials would be a sport weight. So that's pretty cool that they've not actually said, oh, you've got to use XYZ's brand of yarn. So that's good. Yeah. Oh, that's really good actually. It makes it less worrying that you're going to get it wrong. That looks so comfy and so squishy. Like that. But then I also like this because I'm quite simple. And I'd said to my husband that I'd make him that and he said to bog off. So, not only that, he's got a thing about putting jumpers in the tumble dryer, so it's bound to shrink. So yeah, this one's, again, this has got all the charts as they were back in the 80s. So it'd be quite cool to check them and see if they're the same as the ones that we're using now. There we go. And as you've seen, the cheekiest one, which is the naughtiest words, means something different. This is Debbie Stoller's Stitch and Bitch Crochet the Happy Hooker. Now, I love it. For me, this made me giggle as soon as it came out, because of course that means something different in the UK. That we don't normally say, although the crochet group that I go to down at my local pub, when we're allowed back, is actually called a Stitch and Bitch group. And the bird that runs it's also called Debbie. I'm going to be messaging her later with a picture of this going, has she got something to tell me? Right, so here's your barcode with your details on. You never know, you might be able to take that into one of your local bookshops and they'll be able to search it out on the computers for you to see if they've got it in stock. Oh my, that is so cute. This is starting to make me want another baby, which is really horrible. I don't like babies. Not unless there's somebody else's and then I can feed them loads of rubbish. They can vomit and I can send them home. Right, that's quite cute as well. Cheeky little monkey set. There's loads, absolutely tons in here. Cuddly toys, blankets. I'm literally going to scoot through. Yep, so we've done that bit. Chunky belt. Cute top. More cute tops. I sent my husband a picture of this because he uses a skull and crossbones for his computer business, and I said I'd make him the jumper he could wear it to work. As you can guess what he said. Not my style, babe, but thanks for the offer. So yeah, so there's granny squares in here as well, which is good if you're after just a quick thing. She's also got different stitch pattern tutorials in there. And explaining lots of bits and pieces about how to do each of the individual stitches. And again, this one's written really quite well, but it did confuse me when I opened the page first off. And I jumped through the acknowledgements, as you do. Is it this? And that bit. Where is it? And I'll turn to that. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. That's French, I think, I hope. It completely threw me. Absolutely threw me for a moment. But then, hey, it was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night and I was exhausted. Right, so there you go. They were the charity shop finds that my beautiful, beautiful neighbour brought round for me. I hope you like them. I'm sorry I didn't go into more detail with patterns and things, but as I hope you understand, I don't want to muck around with copyright. It's just not worth the risk. So if I do make anything from them and I show you them, I'll be telling you, look, it's from this book, and hopefully we'll be able to find a stockist for some of the newer ones. Right, I'm gonna head off and get on with some crochet because I haven't done any today. So I will see you all soon. Please stay in, please take care. Ta-ra for now.